Okay, so you're probably thinking Christmas trees for a deep dive.
Really. It
Yeah.
does sound a little, basic, maybe.
It does, but trust me, this is going to be interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's about the Vatican's Christmas tree.
Ah!
And believe it or not, it's actually stirring up some controversy.
Really? I mean, it's a symbol of joy and celebration, right? Seems kind of strange.
Exactly. You'd think it'd be universally loved, but get this, over 53,000 people have actually signed a petition against it.
Wow, 53,000. That's a lot of people. That's got to be more than just a couple of Grinches, right?
Right, so what's the big deal? Well, the petition actually cites environmental concerns as the reason.
Okay, so it's not just about like disliking Christmas trees, it's about the environmental impact.
Exactly. They're specifically concerned about the practice of harvesting a tree just for display.
Huh, interesting. So they're petitioning against cutting down a tree for this purpose.
Yeah, and the Vatican has responded, defending their choice of tree.
What are they saying?
Well, they're emphasizing their commitment to sustainability.
Sustainability, huh? That's a word that gets thrown around a lot these days.
It does, and it can mean a lot of different things.
Exactly. So what does it mean in this context? Like, how do they define sustainability when it comes to the Christmas tree?
That's a great question,
Mm.
and one we should definitely dig into. I mean, are they sourcing it from a sustainably managed forest? Are they following strict guidelines like, the FSC certification?
Right, the FSC, that's the gold standard, right? It takes into account things like biodiversity, the rights of local communities, all that stuff.
Right, and it ensures responsible forestry practices. So we need more details from the Vatican on this.
Absolutely. Transparency is key here.
This whole thing really makes me think about all the choices we make as individuals too.
Mm.
Like last year I was debating getting a real Christmas tree versus an artificial one.
Oh, yeah, that's the classic Christmas dilemma.
It is. And there are so many factors to consider, right?
So many. Like with a real tree, you got to think about where it's sourced from, the transportation involved, what happens to it after the holidays.
Right. And then artificial trees have their own environmental footprint too, production materials, all that.
Totally. There's no easy answer. It's all about weighing the pros and cons, I guess.
It really is. It's like even our smallest choices can have a ripple effect, huh?
Definitely. I mean, it all adds up, right?
It does.
Yeah.
But okay, let's zoom out for a minute and think about the historical context.
Yeah.
You've got some fascinating insights into the significance of Christmas trees.
Well, yeah. I mean, the evergreen tree itself has been a symbol of life and hope for centuries across different cultures.
Right. It's got that whole like winter solstice, eternal life vibe going on.
Exactly. And in Christianity, it eventually became linked with the birth of Christ and the idea of everlasting life.
Okay, so that's where the Christian connection comes in.
Yeah, but the tradition of actually decorating a Christmas tree like we know it today, it evolved gradually over time.
So it wasn't always like tinsel and twinkling lights and all that.
Nope. Early decorations were often things like apples, nuts, even candles.
Wow, candles on a tree. That's a fire hazard waiting to happen.
Right. It's wild to think about. But yeah, the tradition really gained traction in the 16th century.
And it's been evolving ever since.
Exactly. It's taken on different meanings throughout history.
So knowing all that, does it make you view this modern day controversy differently?
I think it does. I mean, traditions, they hold cultural and emotional weight. They connect us to the past,
They do.
but they also need to adapt with the times, right? It's all about finding that balance.
So how do we do that? How do we honor traditions while also being mindful of our environmental impact?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think it starts with having these conversations. Like if we value the symbolism of the Christmas tree, maybe the conversation needs to shift towards how we can uphold that symbolism in a way that aligns with, our current understanding of environmental responsibility.
Right, so maybe it's not about getting rid of the tradition altogether, but about making it more sustainable.
Exactly. Finding ways to celebrate in a way that is both meaningful and sustainable.
So we've got this unexpected clash between a cherished tradition and growing concerns about sustainability. It's a really interesting dilemma.
It is. And it makes you think.
It does. What do you think our listeners should take away from all this?
I think it's a call to action, to examine our own choices and how they impact the environment.
Right, like even something as simple as choosing a Christmas tree can be a part of that.
Absolutely. And it's about having these conversations, being open to new ideas, and finding ways to celebrate our traditions in a way that doesn't harm the planet.
Well said. And on that note, that wraps up our deep dive for today.
Hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more insightful explorations.
And don't forget to share this episode with your friends and let us know what you think in the comments.
We love hearing from you guys. Until next time, keep those deep dives going.
See ya.
Bye.